What is up, everybody? I am George Mossey. This is the George Mossey Show. I'm here with Matthew Johnson, and we have some big news. So, you have an EP that you've been working on that will be released next month, but I don't really want to talk a lot about that because I want to spend a lot more time talking about this new single that you're releasing from the EP, Live It Up. So, I want to talk about the process of writing, recording, and singing this track because this track is something that I didn't expect from you. So I want to know the story behind that.
Man, I just had like overall change, management, producer, production, sound, and I just wanted to get a little bit more real, more personable, and more like just in depth with it because I felt I was always doing these like party vibe songs and just wind up girl, wind up songs, you feel me? And I needed to go to a new in depth place. And I felt I've done that with this new EP. It's going to be called the Outset EP, and the new single is going to be called Live It Up because I figured we need to live it up. We need to be thankful for life. But that's where the change actually came because I just wanted to be a little bit more personable and yeah, just touch base on the times with the mental health, the people, look at the earthquake in Syria and everything, just being thankful for life, you know what I mean?
So, how do you feel like this change is different from the music that you've put out before? Because I know it's a different sound, but like, what do you
Yeah.
feel like your fans are going to feel when they hear this? Like, is there a different vibe? Is there a different message behind the music? Or do you feel like you're just evolving into who you always were? And this is just another shade of who you are?
I think I'm just evolving as as I get older, but it's still Matthew Johnson. It's still MUJ. I still have certain songs that have the Caribbean vibe and flair on there. There's a song on my EP called Like Silk. You know what I mean? And that's gonna have a little bit of the Caribbean vibe, but it's a little bit more pop R&B, more like pop soul kind of vibes going on this EP. You feel me? So which I haven't really like completely fell off from because I've always had a pop R&B sound, but I've always put the Caribbean sound on it. You feel me?
So this sound that you're doing now, do you feel like the EP stays along with that sound, or do you feel like you also have a little Caribbean vibe mixed in? Do you feel like this is like an experiment where you're just trying the pop and mainstream, or do you still have some of the roots in there too?
I still like that one song, like Silk. That still has a lot of Caribbean vibrations to it, even in the lyrics and in the lingo. But most of this EP is more of a pop R&B. I'm just gonna keep it real, and I felt that it fits the maturity of where I'm going as an artist, and it's more vocal. The songwriting is more in depth. It's a little bit more precise. It's not just like a party vibe all the time. It's just more real, and it's fitting the evolution of MUJ, put it that way.
All right, so I want to take it back. I want to talk about your first interaction with music. So I'm talking about like back in the day when you were a kid, and I want to know how that exposure to music shaped your life to where you are today. Like, because we were watching the Grammys and we kept hearing a lot of acceptance speeches, and people wanted to talk about how they got there and who inspired them. So I want to know, when you were a kid, who was that artist that made you feel like that's what you wanted to do?
Man, I mean, like when I was back in New York City, because that's where I was born and raised, I had a lot of influences from like pop R&B to hip hop. But a lot of people that was around was people like a Wu-Tang Clan, Method Man, people like Bob Marley. Even though he wasn't around physically, he was around. His
Right.
music was
Yeah.
around, and I was just brought up in that Caribbean vibe. So a lot of the people from the '90s, like Shabba Ranks, Buju Banton, on the R&B side, Kenny Lattimore, Music Soul Child. Those people influenced me a lot, and that's what made me really want to get into music. You feel me? And the MTV era, you know what I mean? Like Backstreet Boys and Sync. You know what I mean?
I hear a lot of songwriters that influenced you. So that kind of makes me wonder, were you always a songwriter? Was songwriting kind of what you did
Uh,
first and then music came second?
I think just the love of performance and singing came first. And then as I grew as an artist, as a professional artist, I had to get more in depth into my songwriting because that's where a lot of the money comes, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
With from songwriting and production. So I had to learn the craft of songwriting, and I also had to learn the craft of live performance. So all that comes together. All that cultivates when you're becoming an artist and becoming yourself as an artist. Because sometimes people watch others and they try to be like other artists. But I wanted to be my own artist. I wanted to have that MUJ, Matthew Johnson vibe and just take from what I've learned from others and make it my own. You feel me?
So you are known for being the king of collaborations. You collaborate with a lot of artists, different
Yeah.
cultures, different genres. So what I want to know with this new EP, is there any collaborations? Is that a secret? Can we know? Should we be looking out for a certain collaboration with a certain person?
Well, right now I'm actually working on a remix to this "Live It Up" with Grammy and Billboard producer David Vaslaki out of LA. We were thinking of putting Jabri back on there, but Jabri wasn't feeling the remix. It wasn't in his vibe right now. So we are going to Juno winner Julie Black. We're trying to get Julie Black on the remix. We had a Zoom call with her, and she's almost down. So you know what I mean? The secret's out of the bag. We're trying to get Julie Black on one of these things. And she's the queen of Canadian R&B. So
She is. So what I'm
yeah.
hearing is a lot of remixes and collaborations. Will you release a EP of remixes from this EP? Because I'm hearing that you're going back and you're remastering and remixing these songs. So will there be another EP in the future with remixes and collaborations?
Probably. You never know because when you're dealing with EDM, they usually want to take your songs, especially when they're original songs, and make it their own. So we could probably go down that route. You never know, especially with EDM DJs and EDM producers.
See, I'm definitely hearing that, and it sounds like that's where it's going because we know that you do remix songs. You remixed your Pond Fire song on the 1 year anniversary to Pond Fire Global, which was an
Facts.
amazing remix song. And I remember talking about that last year, and it's hard to believe that you're about to release this EP and include that on there. It's so much work that is put into this EP. So I kind of want to talk about your plans after the release of this EP, because I know that you never stop working, you never stop
Yeah.
writing, you never stop recording. But what are your plans? Are you going to go out on the road? Will there be performances, music videos, live stream performances? What are we looking for?
So we're gonna be doing a tour. My manager, my new manager, John from Unrestrained Management, he's already booking shows for me, and we're even gonna do a promo like tour for the single and leading up to the March 28th release date of the Outset EP. So even after that, I'm gonna be touring, going back to Toronto, going down to Miami, going overseas, going back to LA, doing stuff all over Texas, and hopefully we can get to Ohio, man. Like we were trying to work something out in Ohio, bro. So I don't know where you're located right now, but we were talking about that. So I'm trying to do as many live shows as possible because I haven't been doing that.
Yeah, I feel like the live shows are what's important because that's how you get out and you interact and you
That,
reach the fans and you can bond with your fans. Because a lot of people are doing these live stream performances, and I feel like they're impersonal. They don't really give the artist a chance to connect. And I feel like that connection, that original connection on stage, is how you make lifelong fans. So I feel like it's
that,
super important that you don't neglect that. And I feel like in 2023, people are like, oh, well, I'm just going to do a show in LA and you can watch it on live stream. That's not how you really are going to connect with people.
nah, man, I really wanna. I've been doing that for the whole pandemic from 2020, doing these Zoom, these live kind of things. I'm over that already, and I really want to go back on the road, make new fans, let new people discover who I am as an artist, and just get back out there. That's why I came out with this new EP.
I want to talk about what you want to tell your fans about this new EP and especially this single. Like, what is the message you want people to hear? Because I heard the song and it's very inspirational. It has some lyrics that are very easy to listen to. It's easy listening. But what is your message? What do you want people to feel? What is the vibe that you're putting out, especially with this single, but also
Yeah.
with the whole EP?
I just want people to feel thankful for what they're doing. I want people to love what they're doing. I want people to love their life, be appreciative of their life, because you never know when things might end. There's people getting out of here super like young at 27 and 34. You know, we just lost Aaron Carter. We lost Twitch. So I just want people to love their life, tell their story, create a legacy, and just be thankful for every day, man. And just keep living and keep on pushing. Live it up while you can. You know what I mean? That's the message.
I love that message. And does the EP kind of follow along in that, or are there different messages? Does every song have a different message? That's a better question. Do you think that each song will tell somebody something different? Or do you feel like it's going along the lines of live it up and appreciate your life?
Well, there's two songs there that's more like motivational, but it's still cool and like live it up. And there's one that where I'm being very personable. It's called 3 a.m. And it's like it's just a personable song about my life, what I've been going through with this music career and what have you. And then there's one that's smooth and sexy, the one with the Caribbean flavor on there. That's the one for the ladies. You know what I mean? It has a Caribbean vibe, but it's still pop R&B. So I guess yeah, it's an eclectic vibration of my life actually. So you're going through a storyboard, you know what I mean? And there's a track for every day of the week on there, you know what I mean?
Okay, I like that. So, can you tell me how many tracks we're getting, or is that something we have to wait? Is it five? Is it 10? Or is that a secret? Can we not
It's
know?
5 to 6 tracks on the EP because I'm gonna after the EP I'm gonna go to album mode. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be in album
Mhm.
mode. The album's gonna come pretty like soon after that, maybe a few months after that.
Oh wow! So we're gonna get
Yeah,
5 or 6 songs, and we're gonna get a whole album in the same year. That's
yeah,
exciting to hear. That's why I'm finding that interesting because you never stop working. You're always working. You're always writing. You're always doing something for your music and your career. And I feel like that is the grind that it takes to make it in this industry. And I feel like you have that drive. So you
yeah.
never take a day off, even though people try to tell you, Matt, take a day off. You can take some time. You're always focused on that goal.
Truth, that's very true. But if you notice, I've been putting out
Mhm.
singles. And sometimes it's a long stretch of time. Sometimes things get mixed up or messed up, and I have to wait. So that's why I'm saying I want to just come with a big amount of material, a decent amount of material, so people have all of that, and they were like, okay, we can rock with this for a few months, and then I'll come up with the bigger product, so I at least have a year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not just song. Okay, yeah, he's coming out with one song every 3 months, 6 months. So that's not working anymore, man. So I had to get on it, bring my A
Yeah.
game, and that's what I'm doing. Even though sometimes I don't put out music all the time, and I'm doing other influencing things, I'm doing branding and what have you with different things like Remedy Rings and Blackwater, BLK Water. Like it's time for the music, you know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at.
It's 2023. It's Matt U. Johnson's time for the music. I want to thank you for sitting down and talking to me. I know you have a lot going on. You have a single coming out so soon within the next 24 hours. You have an EP coming out within the next month. Thank you so much for coming on the George Mossey Show. You are always welcome on my show. At the end of this video, there will be a snippet of Matt U. Johnson's new single, Live It Up, and make sure you are streaming it anywhere you get your music starting tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me. Congratulations on release of your new single and your EP. Anytime you want to come back on the show, you know you're welcome. I'm George Mossey. Make sure you guys are following me at George Mossey, georgemossey.com, and anywhere you get your podcast. And I'll talk to all of you guys really soon.
Yeah, you know we only got one life to live, so we just gotta live it up. Yeah, we just gotta live it up. Come on, ain't no time left to lose. Yeah. Get your spirit up, make it do what it